Well, this isn't annoying at all. I was supposed to just output that last video that I actually didn't get to output in 2019 and just have my 2020s free. I was thinking, okay, maybe I'll see what's going on with this Harvey Weinstein thing before I put that up and just be done with it. That, and I was supposed to, I was planning on taking just like, say, 6 months off of YouTube. Just 6 months to see, yeah, just what the hell's going on here. And see who's who and see what's what. Who's who and what's what. I have over 10,000 subscribers. A little, just over that. My videos get like maybe a half a view, right? So that's also the other thing. It's like, this was just a hobby. I wasn't obviously not making a living off this, and I just got bored with it, right? So I was going to leave, and for whatever the hell odd reason, people want to know my thoughts on this. Does this look like a topic that I am known for getting into? I'm pretty sure there are plenty of other black channels, black people or whatever, or maybe even non-black people that can chime in on this. As to why anybody cares what I think, I don't know, but I have 10 different emails in Thunderbird of people telling me, dude, what do you think about this? What do you think about it? But okay. 10 emails is more than the views that this video or any of my videos are gonna get, but okay, fine. Let's just do this, make this real quick, and I can go back to whatever the hell I was doing.
In the black community, I want to, I don't speak for the black community, but
If you don't speak for the black community, then why are you about to make a sweeping, flagrantly false generalization about roughly 50% of it? I don't speak for the black community either, especially since black, at least in the USA, has been broken into different denominations and fiefdoms, all who apparently seem to want my immigrant black ass to leave just as much as the KKK and neo-Nazis do. And as a result, I sure as hell do not go around potentially to the entire planet to shit on said community.
Do you think that a lot of black men, they really don't know how to have true, faithful relationships?
Wrong again, madam. A true, faithful relationship is going to require both people to do some work. Excuse me. Simple fact of the matter is that most times when a man cheats is because shit changed in the relationship that they didn't sign up for. Case in point, she was thin when they got together, then she said fuck it, and is trying to outdo the Goodyear blimp. Another case, she was nice and pleasant to have around and be around. When they met, then she started having all kinds of belligerent and combative attitude. Hell, she could have tried to trap the guy that didn't want to be trapped. Or maybe sex was on demand when they met, and now it's once every couple of years. Whatever the reason, point is, considering how rare it is to find a woman that has a nice, thick, tight body, a pleasant attitude, and is 100% feminine that isn't argumentative or contentious just to be for the hell of it, but 100% caters to you, any guy that manages to find one of those in the real world, gentlemen, so no, not in a video game, no anime, no, none of that, so no Tifa Lockhart, no Mai Shiranui, no Rainbow Mika, no, right? And somehow manages to convince her, or rather con her, into getting with his ass, is not only not going to cheat, but he's probably going to lock her in the basement so that she doesn't realize she can get any guy on the planet, as many as she wants, and doesn't have to settle for any one. Few men cheat just to cheat, but those few men are the ones that shouldn't have been chained down in the first place. And then a last one that I forgot and just remembered now. Shit gets boring. I don't know how it is for you women, but for men, it gets boring. The same fucking pussy day in, day out for the rest of your life. That shit gets boring. And this is why, at least especially in today's day and age, no man should be getting chained down to any woman for anything. But that's just me.
Think because they have money, because they have power, that they can treat women any kind of way.
Lonnie love the same thing.
And that...
She's not saying anything, certainly nothing of consequence. All she's doing is just talking, but that's just me.
It's something we need to work on. We need to work on that. That
Together.
money and power does not mean that you can just do whatever you want to do.
So
One of my many problems with what this one here is saying is that she keeps saying black men, then say women, right? She doesn't zero in on the black men that she dealt with, and at least she had better have dealt with some to be saying this. And she also didn't name any names. And that's the one, and her and women like her that do this just say men. That's the problem. Zero in on the men you're talking about. The specific men you're talking about. Because the moment that I start saying women, females, anyway, you'll see what I'm saying in a second. That did this and named some names. She says black men. So any human that is classified as black and male falls under this demonization, especially when being broadcast to the rest of the world. This is the internet after all. She then says women, not even black women, or simply her, but women. Strictly speaking, that would mean that black men treat any and every human classified as woman, race need not be factored in, how she describes. Well, there's a slight problem with that. Most races of people date, marry, and or fuck people of their own race, with entrail exceptions. Taking out white men with Asian women, shit, I don't know why you two can't keep your hands off each other, but that's just me. The simple fact is, ask an East Indian woman who cheats more. Who do you think she's going to say? East Asian men or East Indian men, right? What about Middle Eastern girls? Is she going to say indigenous American men or Native American men? Or is she going to say black men? Or is she going to say Middle Eastern men? You see where I'm going with this, right? So obviously not, she's not going to say that. She's going to say Middle Eastern men, right? The next thing is, when do you see any other group of women shit on their man as a whole like this to the entire world? I've seen Asian women do it on Asian TV that I needed mad subtitles to follow along with. Okay, you best believe potentially the entire planet wasn't tuning in. It was two Asians about Asians, and my black ass happened to get past the force field, right? I honestly, I think I wasn't even paying attention to it. I was bored. I just wanted to have something to keep me company when I was doing something, and I just happened to leave it on there. I think the Asian girl was hot that was talking, so that's why I left it there. But yeah, and subtitles happened to be on, so I stumbled across that. But Asian women weren't exactly just putting it out there, shitting on Asian men. Right? It's crazy. Everyone seems to agree that all groups of men do shit. Why is it that the women of those groups don't advertise how fucked up their men are to the world? The closest one I can see of another group of women doing this is white women with this whole Me Too business. And let's be honest, the only kills that this new tentacle of white women's feminism has is over black men, despite how many white men get hit, right? White men get Kavanaugh'd, black men get Cosby'd. Right, let's just remember that. Lastly, I thought the prevailing mantra or complaint was that when black men get quote-unquote money and power, they run off to white girls. So how would this one or any black woman know how rich and powerful black men treat women? Then there's a side note of, since when have black men had money and power of any consequential degree in the Western world? I mean, think about it. Like, when have they had money and power like that? What, the 1800s? The 1900s? 20s, 30s, 60s? Really? Really? Especially since all of society like to remind black men how they're on the bottom even below black women. Black men haven't really been having any semblance of money and or power until about the 70s or 80s, and again, in anecdote doses. Finally, can anyone prove when Barack Obama cheated? I'm willing to bet Trump has cheated, and one and all know Bill Clinton has cheated. So, can anybody name when exactly Barack Obama has cheated? And can they prove it? That's what I thought.
So many cultures, that is the whole machismo thing, like that goes across the board, but...
Machismo thing. Okay. That's what natural biological demands is being called nowadays. Huh? Simple fact is, men shouldn't be getting married or at this point in any kind of dealings with women where they are chained down. Okay, I'll say it again. Simple fact is, men shouldn't be getting married or at this point in any kind of dealings where any woman can say you're chained down to her for whatever reason. Okay? And if you dare look or talk or be with any other woman, that's fill in the blank. Stop playing the game. You hear that, man? Stop playing the game. The more money and more power a man has, the less he should be chaining himself down to anyone, much less any woman, okay? Remember the 48 Laws of Power, Law 20. Don't know what law that is? Go look it up. One other thing. As someone that has, or was, the other man for 5 different women that cheated on their husbands back in my early 20s, I can say with authority that women cheat just as much as men, if not more. The only difference is the men they're cheating on their boyfriends or husbands with keep their mouth shut so they can get some easy pussy without having to go through all the bureaucratic red tape of finding a girl, doing God knows what to get her to get with you, get her interested, all that drudge work, right? Excuse me. Any man that has been deployed overseas, and I'm just going to lay out a few things here, all right, and you can feel free to put in the comments whether, or confirm what I'm saying. I know full well I'm right, okay? Any man that has been deployed overseas, I can damn near guarantee you that your girlfriend and wife has cheated, okay? Any man out on the road for weeks or months at a time, same thing. And then there was the ones that I specialized in. The housewife that has a man that makes 6 figures after taxes in some government job. So she's not going to give up her meal ticket, but she's bored out of her mind because her husband is burnt out after a long day or night, making the money so she doesn't have to work, and can't deal with her. That's where my specialty came in those women. So the men weren't even out deployed or just out for long periods of time. They were out for like, what, 8 to 12 hours. And again, my God, if it wasn't for the fucking potential lawsuit, like I would pull up my phone, have it up here, and go through my fucking phone list, because I still have the names and numbers of those women, all right, from my early 20s. I'm about to be 33 on February 20th, 2020. So, oh my God, I know what I'm talking about, all right? Just put it to you like that. I know what the fuck I'm talking about, okay? Right, so I could and probably still can, because God forbid, in some of those cases, their place probably hasn't changed any, right? So I could and probably still can describe the inside of their house. And yes, I do know where those expensive-ass golf clubs are in the case of 4 of them. I know where those expensive golf clubs are, all right? And I could also describe the inside of their wife or girlfriend, all right, in the case of one. Okay, so finally, women can do anything men can do, right? All right? So to think that if women had all the money and power, that they wouldn't do similar or same and treat men God knows how. shit, women supposedly don't have any money or power now, and supposedly, and look how they're treating men as a whole. Right? So if they had 100% control of the reins, are men to understand that women would not turn into some Caligula, tyrant, Satan, Hitler, Satanist, Hitler, whatever. Get out of here. I don't know who the hell you think you're fooling with that one.
I'm going to
No,
say...
it's not across the board, because what is happening is that we are still dealing with the point of slavery, and we are descendants of slavery, and because our families were broken up, we still do not have an idea of how to have together families, because our families were broken up.
Yeah,
and until we really
from that
start...
perspective, I absolutely get
slavery.
Not across the board. So only black men cheat. Okay. It's not across the board. It's not all men. It's just black men. All right. Okay. Slavery has nothing to do with it. I'm not going to act like the effects of slavery didn't have any impact on how far behind the starting line black people as a whole had to start from. One thing all these DOSA, ADOS, FBA, B1, and whatever the fuck else they want to make up and call themselves next week types need to realize is that slavery for blacks was transatlantic, not just America. Okay? That being said, that won't be an excuse here, because much like a lot of other things, the Reconstruction saw black people catch up and start to briskly walk away from whites as a whole. Obviously not every single one, but as a whole. Black people had all the skills all whites could do, for the most part. Again, not each and every single one, but as a whole, right? All white people could do was crack a whip and say nigger, right? Maybe make some threats. Black people had their own businesses, towns, societies, etc. I think we all know what happened to those efforts of black people. Another thing blacks had, by force, since they sure as hell couldn't do any interracial shit openly apart from perhaps getting raped, I suppose. And there wasn't any other race apart from whites at the time. So that one other thing was whole families, right? Man, woman, kids. All that came to a halt in the 60s, and I don't think I need to explain what happened there. So slavery had absolutely nothing to do with it. At least not directly, in the very least. So this whole thing of going back to slavery, no. The end of slavery before the 60s, from the end of slavery to the 60s, all there was black relationships. All there was black families intact, right? Now, okay, was there cheating? Of course there was cheating. Am I to understand? Here's the thing that I always wondered when women want to go off about how men cheat, right? Am I to understand women don't cheat either? Especially considering what I just finished saying about how I can, about the proof that I can give that they do, right? Here's the thing. Women will out a dude that's cheating because they can go find some other dude to cheat on their man with at the snap of their fingers. Men, not so much. So men shut the fuck up about it and don't care. It's like, yo, as long as I'm getting to dump some dick off balls deep in this pussy, I'm good. Hey, she's going out with you, player. She's married to you, not me. She told me she was single. As far as I give a shit, she's single. As far as these nuts care, she's single. Women, on the other hand, they can go get it from whoever, whenever they want, more or less. So they can sit there and shoot down one guy, snitch on him, and not have a problem. So am I to understand that women don't cheat either? Huh? I should never forget this. One thing that I learned, and oh my God. Oh man. I learned this from one of my friend's great-grandfathers, right? And he learned this. My friend's great-grandfather learned it from his great-grandfather. I'll say it again. My friend's what I'm about to say, my friend's great-grandfather, I learned it from him, and he learned it from his great-grandfather. So that's like what? 5, 6 generations back? And what I learned was that during all this time of piety and stuff, like you'd think that, oh my God, things were just also Puritan and proper back in back in the freaking ancient day. And it's not until the 60s that shit came about. Shit started to turn rancid, started to decay up until present day into the future. From what I understand, no. Shit was going on back then too. It's just few people knew about it because you couldn't go around spreading it as fast, anywhere near as fast as you can now. It was going on back then as well. The men were cheating, and the women sure as all hell were cheating. And much like today, the men kept their mouth shut because it was hard to find a woman that was willing to risk it. And the women, well, they didn't have to keep their mouth shut as much because they can find any guy that they wanted to cheat. Even back then, even back in, shit, grandfather of grandfather, what the hell is that, 10,000 BC? Fuck. It's no different. The only difference is in today's day and age, it's faster. There's more chances to get caught. There's more chances to cover your ass too, but there's more chances to get caught. But that's really it. The same thing applies today as back in grandfather of grandfather. That's like what, 1700s? Maybe? Or something? Probably the founding of the US? Shit. It's the same shit. Nothing new under the sun. The same shit, different day, new faces. That's it. Perhaps more faces. There's more people on the planet now. More faces. Fine. Moving right along.
Welfare reform in the 60s and 70s. Like, this is a long...
So when you hear
Exactly. And hopefully that other show gets done. And bring Shahrazad Ali or one of the... no, bring her on that show while you're at it. Would be nice to have some kind of credentialed authority in this COVID.
Because I say, when you hear Joe Budden say, he worked so hard, it's not a bad thing. He's saying, Kevin don't want to be poor no more. Okay? So he's like, let me go out here and make this money because I don't want to go back to where I was in Philly. So what he was saying was he was using it as an excuse, and we modernize it and say, but that's not, no, but you got to understand the whole psychology behind it. That's the reason why he's working so hard, because he don't want to go back to where he came from, because then he'll lose the power.
And working so hard is affecting his relationship.
Exactly.
Yeah, so it is a...
conundrum.
Correct. Well,
I have a feeling Kevin is working so hard so he doesn't lose the money. Fuck the power. The power of being a comedian at his level is going to be gone when his ass is like 70 or 80 or whatever. Something tells me he doesn't want to be 80 having to still do this comedy bit. If he loses all his money overnight but still has his power, it wouldn't work. If he had no power overnight but still had all his money, he'd be fine. Simply put, for example, Trump has power, obviously. If he wants a McDouble and follow along with me here, if he wants a McDouble at McDonald's, he can't pay with power. He damn sure better pull out that $1 plus in Maryland, 6% tax, so 6 cents, that $1.06, or Mr. President ain't getting no damn double cheese, McDouble, whatever, right? Secret Service be damned. Money and power is usually, if not always, together, but they are in fact two different things. Ask the people who are rich yet have no power over anything. The Baron of Italy, for example, who, by his own admission, doesn't really do anything but just gives notoriety to places. If anybody doesn't know who he is, he's the motherfucker that went and said, I don't want to look cool, I want to be served. And that's why instead of going to a luxury 5, 6-star, 7-star, whatever the hell star hotel, he'd rather go to a more lowly hotel and get treated like a god versus simply just getting treated like an important person or a king in a 5-star place. I don't want to look cool, I want to be served. And in fact, we're here. Let's see if we can find them. I believe it was the Baron of Italy. I wonder if I could find... let me see if I can just put in what he said. I don't... I mean, hell, why would this work? Let's see if I can Google this. Boom. Whatever. You can go look it up. You can go look it up. Let me see if I can find a picture of him. Images, Baron of Italy. I'll know what he looks like when I see him. And I'm not seeing him here. Yeah, okay, you can go look his ass up. He's... Yeah, you can go look him up. Wait. Alright, whatever. Yeah, let's not have this thing go taking forever. Okay, but the point is that the more money and power a man has, the less he should be getting chained down to anyone, especially some woman, or any woman, but really just anyone, any at all. Okay? So yeah, that's it. That's as to why she's zeroing in on black men rather than the specific black man that did this. Because here it is now, she outputting this to the entire world. Now the entire world is, because it's stupid, is going to think, oh my god, that's how black men, any man classified as black and male, is going to treat women. Not white women with blonde hair, not 5-foot Asian women, not women with skin tone that's jet black. No. Women. So any female, any human classified as woman is going to be treated like shit or cheated on by someone that's classified as black and male. That's what that's saying. And I don't trust on people's IQ or intelligence or good or what the hell do you want to call it? Intellectual honesty to realize, oh, what she meant to say or what you can get from that or obviously it goes without saying. No. Because one thing that I've noticed with people is that people want to play dumb when other groups of people are getting shitted on. But the moment that same shit comes to their group, all of a sudden, oh my god, oh look, we're getting treated just like black people. It's not right. Oh my god, black people went through this. Now we need to stand together. No. Alright. It's amazing how, for example, white people as a whole seem to have no idea about, oh my god, white supremacy and maybe some white privilege or something and maybe some racism. But the moment that they get hit with some semblance of that, all of a sudden, up white genocide, oh my god. And that's not just white people, but they're the ones that are most pronounced with that now. It's Asians, East Indians, Middle Easterns, all that. So for her to sit here and shit on black men rather than the specific black men that shit on her, and then try to expand that or translate that into black men as a whole and women, not even just black women, but women. Okay, well, she's with a white guy now, from what I understand. She's with a white dude. I don't know if they're just dating or married. Let's see if you can keep this, all right? And since black men aren't for you, let's see if you can keep a white guy, huh? All right. Okay. And that is that. I got more sleeping to do, so there's that. Later.